Alright everybody, welcome back to another video here in the world of Explorer. Today we're going to be playing a fun one. We're going to be playing Boros Feather. So Feather is a 3-mana 3/4 flyer. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets a creature you control, exile that card instead of putting it in your graveyard as it resolves. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Something to keep in mind with this card is if you cast the spell and they kill the Feather, as long as the Feather exiled the spell, you still get it back at the end of the turn even if Feather died. Also, so we have a bunch of 1-mana creatures like Clever Luminancers, Soul-Scar Mages as some aggression in the first turn, and then we have 4 Illuminator Virtuoso. This is one of the best cards in the deck because it gets massive fast. It also has 3 Dreadhorde Arcanists to recur some creatures from the board, and some 10th District Legionnaires. We also are running Reckless Rages to deal damage to creatures, Play with Fires, Ancestral Angers, Homestead Courage, a bunch of cheap spells that buff our creatures and draw us cards, and just make it really easy to kill our opponent quickly, as well as a Valorous Stance that protects our creatures and does double duty killing big creatures. We also have 4 Gods Willing to protect our creatures as well. In the sideboard, we have 3 Fight as Ones, because this gives up to 2 creatures, a human and a non-human, +1/+1 and indestructible. 4 Danto Vanguards, because if we're playing against black, especially a controlling black deck, having a way to get a creature indestructible is really good, and the 4 life is not as important in that regard. We also have 4 Abrades for the Cat Oven decks, as well as creature decks, or anytime we need an artifact or removal. We also have 3 Showdown of the Skalds. This is a 4-mana enchantment saga that when it comes to the battlefield, you exile the top 4 cards of your library, then until end of the next turn you may play those cards, and whenever you cast a spell this turn, put a +1/+1 creature, a counter on target creature you control. This is really nice because it helps with the mid-rangey matchups to give us just a little bit more reach, because I think mid-range is one of our harder matchups. Overall, I'm super excited to play this deck. Let's go kill some people super fast. Thanks so much for pioneering Explorer with me. Alright, let's see what we got here. I like this hand quite a bit. We're just gonna go an early Soul-Scar Mage, start getting some damage in, probably, depending on what they're playing, a turn 2 Defiant or Illuminator Virtuoso, so that we can continue to put some pressure. I'm expecting to play this on the white side, but that'll depend a little bit on what we draw here. Wolf Willowhaven is fine. Ooh, okay, so I'm gonna actually play this now. I'm gonna cast my Illuminator Virtuoso, and I'm gonna get in there for some damage. I'm gonna pass the turn, and now each of our spells does double duty when we cast them. So I'm going to start with a Clifftop Retreat. I'm gonna get in there for some damage, and then I'm going to cast a Fine Strike on my Illuminator Virtuoso. This is gonna do a bunch of triggers. Get a Prowess trigger, and then we get to do a Connive on this guy. And let's see what they've got. Counter target non-creature spell. That's fine. We're going to let that happen. From here, we're going to Prowess trigger. And then I think I'm going to discard Dreadhorde. No. Yeah, I actually think I'm going to discard Dreadhorde Arcanist here. Weirdly enough. No, I'm going to discard the 10th District Legionnaire. And so now it gets to be a 2/2. And we're going to get in there for a bunch of damage. And from here, I'm just going to play probably a Dreadhorde Arcanist. I don't expect them to be playing any sort of burn, so I'm perfectly content with getting there with a little extra damage. Golos Tireless Pilgrim. All right. Well, that's annoying because it doesn't actually... We don't get to attack into it super well, though it's going to be just fine, actually, now that I think about it. So what we want to draw here is not a land. Any spell, it doesn't really matter which. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm going to just start with a land. I'm probably going to play this on the white side. Not that it matters particularly. And then I'm going to cast an Ancestral Anger on Illuminator Virtuoso. Going to get him a little bit bigger. I'm definitely going to discard the Clever Luminancer. I want this guy to be as big as I can. Force a chump block if I'm able to. From here, I'm going to attack with everything. And then I'm going to cast Defiant Strike on the Illuminator Virtuoso. And here I'm likely to discard one of my lands because I don't need too many. This now is very annoying for them to block. So let's see what they end up doing. But they kind of have to. That's the important thing, is that they kind of are forced to block here. Because otherwise they just actually die. They could technically block the Soul-Scar Mage and survive, but... And unfortunately, God's Willing cannot give us protection from a color. So we are forced to chump like that. I'm going to play Dreadhorde Arcanist and pass the turn. Obviously, with double strike plus being massive plus... Okay, that's pretty good. Unfortunately, it's not going to be quite good enough because they are going to try to steal my Clever Luminancer. And I'm going to give it Pro Blue. And this will kill him. All right. That worked out great. So I will discard Sacred Foundry, and then I will give it Pro Blue. I do not want this. And that'll do it, because I am just going to play a 10th District Legionnaire and slay. All right, let us go to game number 2. I don't know if I like the fight as ones and such. I actually think I want a Braids here. And then, actually, I don't even know about that. Maybe just a Valorous stance, because I'm assuming they're playing big creatures. And then take out one of my weaker creatures myself. So I think that means I'm going to take out one of my Soul-Scar Mages. And then I'm going to ship this. Alright, here we are in game number 2. I'm going to keep this hand, though it's a little bit sketchy, just because we only have one threat, and it is Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is a good threat, but it's kind of like a supporting threat for our big... Whoa, dragon just came out of nowhere. Then again, sometimes you just draw what you need, and you play a Soul-Scar Mage on turn 1. Alright, pass the turn to you. See what you got. Maybe like a Growth Spiral or something. That would be fine. Wolf Willowhaven, okay. Well, from here, I'm just going to play a Sacred Foundry. I'm going to pay 2 life, and I am going to play the Dreadhorde Arcanist here and attack for 1. I just like, because I'm not worried about multiple like a board wipe or anything, I'm perfectly content with getting a couple creatures out. If they have a way to kill something, at least then I still have another creature. Okay, so you're going to make a 2/2 Hydroid Krasis. That is fine. From here, I'm just going to go Defiant Strike on my Soul-Scar Mage. Oh, I wanted to draw a land. I wanted to draw something there. A land, preferably, but that's okay. Because then I'm going to go play with fire on your Hydroid Krasis. It's going to make our dude a little bit bigger. And then we're going to play... We're going to attack with Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'm going to recast the Defiant Strike. I'm going to keep the Play with Fire in our graveyard for next turn. And there's the land. That's good, because what that lets me do is actually keep up a God's Willing. So from here, I'm going to pass the turn. And things are looking pretty nice right here. I'm curious what they're going to do. They have 4 mana. They can play a Llanowar Elves. That's fine. Ooh, this is going well. Yeah, it's not quite going to do it. Are you're going me, dude? Chill out. We're just having fun here, buddy. All right, I will go to my turn. From here, I'm just going to Ancestral Anger my Soul-Scar Mage. All right. And then I'm going to Ancestral Anger my Dreadhorde Arcanist, making it kind of awkward for them to chump block. And then I actually think I'm going to attack with both. And, ooh, I could just Ancestral Anger again. No, I am going to just play with Fire the Llanowar Elves. I just want to slow them down. Man, our opponent's just spamming me a little bit. I think they're a little bit upset that they're taking so much damage here. Pass the turn to you. I've got a God's Willing up to protect my guys, and it's going to be very difficult for them to win from here. Because I can just God's Willing if they find a way to... Yep, that's fine. So you're going to get this guy out. I actually think... I actually think I'm going to let this happen. And the reason why... Actually, no. I should technically give this pro green here. And that's because I could put a land on the top, and I really would like a land. Though I guess that works too. Valor Stance hits toughness 4 or greater. So, I'm not going to put that on top. I'm good. Hopefully draw a land here. That's fine. In this case, I'm just going to go Valorous Stance on the Voracious Hydra to kill it, making my dude a 3/3. And then I'm going to slay with both of these, cast another Ancestral Anger, and there we go. That'll do it. Match 1 in the books. That was nice and fast. All right, we are here with the Boros Feather deck. I'm going to keep this hand. We're going to start with an Inspiring Vantage into a Soul-Scar Mage, most likely. Steam Vents, eh? Okay. So Clifftop Retreat's a little bit awkward here. I do not want to have to play a tap land, but it's looking likely. So from here, I'm just going to play it tapped, and then attack for 1, and then play a Soul-Scar Mage, and pass the turn. And that's unfortunate. That loses a little bit of our tempo, but I still think we're doing great here. I didn't really want to play an Ancestral Anger to put into potential burn. Narset, Parter of Veils. Okay. I'm cool with that. You can go find a spell. What did you find, though? This tells me a lot about what they're trying to do. I think this doesn't feel like a Phoenix deck, despite Steam Vents into Sulfur Falls. Narset. Alright, some sort of Spells Matters deck. That's kind of cool. Alright, from here, I'm just going to play a 10th District Legionnaire. Well, I'm a little bit worried about some form of burn. So I think I'm just going to play Homestead Courage, make it a 3/4, flash it back, make this a 5/6. This will kill Narset, and this will hit you for 5, and then pass the turn. Because I didn't want to play Ancestral Anger there, obviously, because I didn't want to not draw with it. That'd be a bit of a waste. Part of the reason this card is so good is it just refills your hand as you play it. So let's see what they end up doing now. If they have some sort of... If they have, like, Deafening Clarion, it doesn't actually kill everything. It only kills one of my Soul-Scar Mages. Alright, from here, I'm going to main phase an Ancestral Anger on the weaker Soul-Scar Mage, just to reduce the likelihood that they can blow me out with a spell on this. Alright, draw me a land, please. That'd be awesome. If not, it's fine. I definitely don't want to play with Fire yet. Alright, well, in that case, I'm just going to get in there for 7 more and pass the turn holding up a Play with Fire. I like our position here. They have to have something very quickly or else they're pretty much dead. But they might have something here. They have 5 mana. They could play Narset, but that's not going to do it. That's for sure. If they play Narset, we're just going to burn their face and then almost assuredly kill them on the hit back. Alright, fair enough. Deal 5 damage to each creature. That's pretty good. I'm going to play with Fire your face now. I don't need a God's Willing, unfortunately. Give me a land. Alright, perfect. Here I'm going to play it as a red land. I'm going to play a 10th District. Let me see what this does. So draw a card, discard a card. Alright, I think what I want to do is just play a 10th District Legionnaire. Slay for 2. Pass the turn. Unfortunately, we don't have like a Defiant Strike or anything like that. So that was too bad. But now they have to do something. Like, if they play this and gain some life, that's annoying. But I still think we're in a decent spot. Because they go up to 5 and we play a 10th District Legionnaire. Any spell that targets our dudes will kill them. What I would love them to do is actually play a spell creature for me to Reckless Rage, but it doesn't look like this deck's going to be doing that, so Reckless Rage almost assuredly is coming right out. But I'd like to get a little bit more information before we end this one, just so that I know if, like, Valor's Stances are what I want, Fight as Ones are what I want, that sort of thing. Alright, Valor's Stances and Fight as Ones are coming in. Alright, and then they will die here. We needed any one of these kind of spells to be able to kill them, and we did end up getting there. Yep, I will put a land on top just in case. And then I will kill them. Alright, let's go to game 2, where we're definitely taking out our Reckless Rages, because those are really bad in this matchup, it feels like. Other than that, I think I want to take out probably a 10th District Legionnaire and a Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'm going to bring in Adanto Vanguards. I'm going to bring in a Fight as One. And do I want Showdown of the Scalds? I don't think so. I'd rather just kill him quickly. Alright, here we are in game number 2. I cannot keep that hand for the obvious reasons. This hand is pretty bad, but I am going to keep it. And the reason why is it's just one creature away from being quite good. But I think I actually get rid of the Ancestral... No, probably just the Defiant Strike. I would like my lands. I just want to make sure I can hit my land drops. Alright, so that's not bad. At least this helps me scry into something. I am actually going to play it main phase, because I don't want them to Jawari Disruption it. Definitely... Oh, wait. No, that was not what I wanted to hit. Well, that's unfortunate. That's annoying. I misclicked. But we're doing okay still. Moss Boss Barbecue Sauce. That's awesome. What a sweet name. Oh, perfect. We drew an Inspiring Advantage. That's what I was hoping to draw. Don't tell anybody. It didn't happen. Hopefully there's a creature on top. Otherwise, I'm going to feel real dumb. I'm still feeling dumb, but still. That's okay. Sometimes the misclicks happen. All right, well, I am going to play this on the white side. I'm going to pass to you. And then end of turn, I'm just going to play with fire and scry. So, oof, this is not amazing. All right, yep, that's fine. I would love to draw a 10th District Legionnaire that has haste now, just so that I could make sure that dies. I don't love not being able to draw in my turn more than one card. A Braid, okay, that's pretty good. The question is, do I play with... I still think I have to play with fire. Okay, Lotus Feet. Oh, I see what this deck's trying to do. They're just going to be doing some untapping shenanigans and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. I like that. I'm going to just play with fire here. Hopefully hit a creature now. Soul-Scar Mage is a bad one, but still a creature at least. I'm going to play it. And then I'm just going to pass the turn. Because now I have a way to at least give it indestructible. Though I'm a little bit worried that they have... yeah, you can minus it. It's annoying, but it's fine. See what they hit. This one's not looking great. Ooh, a Teferi, eh? That does get around fight as one, that's for sure. Let's see what they end up doing, though. Hopefully they just try to abrade my Soul-Scar Mage or something. Otherwise, we're going to be going to the next game for sure. Ugh. Abrade me, please? Okay. Well, then I'm going to fight as one. I assume you're a human, right? Alright, human wizard. Target human you control. Give you +1/+1 and indestructible. And they might have another burn spell, at which point things get a little bit hairy, but they did not. Okay. And then I think I'm just going to kill their Narset. Unfortunately, that's really all I can do. I would love to draw another creature here. Oh, huge. Okay. So I'm just going to play this. I'm going to kill their Narset with a Soul-Scar Mage and kill them with a 10th District Legionnaire. And by kill them, I mean do them 2 damage, which is not nearly killing them, but that's okay. I'm going to pass the turn, and then we're going to see what they do. Hopefully they just play like Teferi and take out my 10th District Legionnaire or something. That's not ideal for me, but it's probably the best I can hope for. Ooh, they can't even do that. That's nice. Ooh, Shatter the Sky is bad. I think I actually have to cast this here and scry into a creature, because I definitely do not want to draw an Ancestral Anger. Alright, Feather's good. Feather's fine, at least. Alright, I'm going to play an Illuminator Virtuoso, and I am going to play this Iganjo to play another one. And hopefully they don't have another Wrath, but they very well could. Let's see what they've got, though. If they just play a Teferi Hero of Dominaria and -3 on an Illuminator Virtuoso, that's not a big deal. I'll probably play a Feather and pass. I would love to draw another Protection. Or an Adanto Vanguard would be fine. Some way to guarantee I can have a creature if they have Wrath. Deafening Clarion. Alright, well, they had another Wrath. That's annoying. I don't see us winning this one, unfortunately. Alright, so play a Steam Vents. I'm just gonna go... Ooh. I think I'm just gonna go 10th District. No, I'm gonna go Feather. And then I'm going to Ancestral Anger the Feather, even though I can't attack. The reason why is it draws me a card, and I get to get it back. So it doesn't... it's free. And now I don't have Fight as one up. Fight as one wasn't even in my hand at the time, so it's not that amazing. So from here, I assume they're going to play Teferi now and -3 on the Feather. And then 10th District Legionnaire will kill the Teferi, and I will be in a decent spot. Alright, Lava Coil, okay. This is annoying. And then if they play a Teferi, they can plus it. But then I go to 3, 4... Yeah, okay. So let's see what else they've got. They would need a land to be able to play Teferi, which they could have. They have 5 cards in hand. I actually don't hate our position. Alright, another Feather. I'm just going to play the Feather. And then I'm going to Ancestral Anger and just hope they don't have a burn spell or some way to kill this at instant speed. I don't think they're running too many ways to kill this at instant speed, but they definitely could have some. But I think this is just for the best. I just want to draw a card. Ooh. Oh, they had a negate? Alright, fair enough. Okay, well, in any case, pass the turn to you. Hopefully they just play Teferi and minus it. Play a land, play Teferi and minus it. I think that's the best thing that could happen. Because then they'll have 3 cards in hand. I could kill the Teferi with 10 District Legionnaire and hold up Fight as 1. And I think that puts me in a decent spot. But they're obviously thinking about it. They probably have some options. Obviously, if I untap with Feather, things start to get weird. But I can't imagine they're going to let me do that. I'm sure they're going to minus it here. If they don't, they better have something pretty good. Alright. That's exactly what I was expecting. Though, Feather's coming back. It's only a couple turns away from getting back to me, so that's nice. Drawing that Feather at some point will be good. Now I don't want to see lands. Alright, another Lotus Field. Ooh, a Danto Vanguard. Ugh, I really do want to play that, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna play that. See, I see what they're trying to do. Teferi's insane with Lotus Fields because they untap for so much mana. That's awesome. Alright, pass the turn to you. Now a board wipe doesn't actually do much because the Danto Vanguards are going to be insane against them. Unless, of course, they have some sort of, like, Lava Coil gets around it. I think, actually. No, maybe not. Ooh, Baneslayer Angel, eh? That's kind of gross. I don't see myself beating that too easily. But we have a couple cards that will help. Alright, let's just see. Oh, they had an Abrade. Alright, they kind of had it all this game. Go to my turn. God's willing, eh? Alright, this does not have Vigilance, so I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't love it, but I'm going to pass the turn and see what they do. Because then I could play Feather, I could God's Willing, I could hold up God's Willing. And God's Willing plus Feather is a very nice combo because it makes their Baneslayer... Alright, so play that, gain some mana, draw a card, then you may discard a card. Alright. When you discard an online card this way, it deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or planeswalker. Alright, well if you try to kill my Adanto Vanguard, it's not a big deal. Oh, you don't have to discard it. Oh, that's interesting. So here's the question, what are they doing with the Baneslayer? Are they just keeping it back? They might just keep it back. I would be happy if they attacked. Okay, cool. Get in there for some damage. That loses them a Narset. I don't think they wanted to attack there. But hey, that's okay. Go to my turn. Play a Feather. And then I'm going to attack Narset. And then from here, what do I want to do? I'm just going to pass. See what they've got. Because now I can start doing annoying stuff with God's Willing. Obviously, if they have a... They could have some stuff that's not good. I might actually take one more hit from the Baneslayer. Because if they drew a kill spell, then I'm not in a position to protect my Feather. Ooh, they needed 2, though. Well, no, they still could just have 1. So I'm definitely... Oh, go to my turn. That's huge. So in this case, I'm going to play this. And then I think I'm just going to give my 10th District Legionnaire pro white? No, I'm gonna... Ooh, this is awkward. I'm just going to attack with 10th District Legionnaire now. And the reason why is I'm assuming they're going to be afraid to block it. And I can just get some damage in. If they do block it, I'm going to go fight as 1, give it +1/+1, target human and non-human. So this is nice because it forces this and it forces both of... So it forces both of them to... Alright, land is not necessary right now. And then I'm just going to God's Willing my 10th District Legionnaire. And this is going to give it pro-white. Because then they don't even gain the life anymore. Scrying a bunch of lands at the bottom, which is great. And then I'm gonna... Yeah, we're just gonna kill your Baneslayer and pass the turn. And then I get all my spells back because of Feather. So they have a turn to, like, Deafening Clarion on me, or not even Deafening Clarion, Shatter the Sky, which would be a heartbreak if they had it. I still get to keep up Adanto, because I can make it indestructible, but I like our position quite a bit more than I did before. Plus, we just scryed a ton of lands to the bottom. Like, look at that. So that's going to make our future draws, on average, quite a bit better. All right, another Adanto Vanguard, eh? I am going to play that. I don't think there's a reason to not. And then I'm going to Slay with everything. And then pass the turn. I could have God's Willing my 10th District Legionnaire to get another +1/+1 or fight as one. But I just am worried that they're trying to do something tricky. So I'm already winning this game. There's no reason for me to be so proactive. It puts me in a dangerous spot. So I think this is for the best. Wow, I can't believe that this game turned around like it did. That's so sweet. This deck has, especially with Feather, this deck has a surprising amount of reach. So that's pretty cool. They have 2 cards in hand. A Miria's Call, eh? Yeah, that's fine. You get a bunch of 4/4s until your next turn. They do get... Oh, non-angels get indestructible, so this doesn't even matter. All right, here I'm going to... So if I pay life, I can attack. Give 10th District Legionnaire pro-white, they take 5. Yeah, I am going to pay 8 life to give both my dudes indestructible, which is pretty gross. And then I'm going to fight as one my... I guess I didn't have to give my one of my Adanto Vanguards pro, but that's okay. I'm definitely going to draw Homestead Courage. And then I will have everything take some damage, and that's fine. Alright, go to my turn, untap. I'm just going to go Homestead Courage on 10th District Legionnaire. Doesn't matter what I scry. Gonna scry that to the bottom. Play another... Oh, no flashback on the home... Oh, because Feather makes so you can't flashback. That's funny. I'm going to play God's Willing on my 10th District Legionnaire. Giving it pro-white. And then I'm going to fight as one my Feather. And then they're dead. All right, what a sweet comeback that was. Here we are with the Boros deck. This hand is a little bit land heavy, but I think I'm going to keep it because I have Defiant Strike, I have some early stuff, I've got all the other pieces, and with only 15 lands left in the deck, that's like very few lands. So I'm pretty confident that we're not going to draw too many lands. So I'm just going to go Clever Luminancer and pass the turn. Hopefully they don't start killing my creatures. That would make me a little bit sad. Though they are targeting it with something. Leave it alone. It did nothing wrong. It didn't... Oh, Temple Garden, eh? Alright, here... I think I'm just going to go Den of the Bugbear, Dreadhorde Arcanist, and pass. I'm thinking this might be the Angels deck, which I don't love the idea of facing the Angels deck here. Oh, that definitely makes me think not the Angels deck, Temple of Abandon. I'm very curious what they are up to then. So it's some sort of Naya deck with Temple of Abandons make me think less likely to be Control. From here, I am just going to play a Feather and attack for 1. Such an aggressive deck we're playing here. Feels bad, man. But next turn, we get a draw step and then a draw off Defiant Strike, and we could easily pop the heck off here if they leave our board alone. They're paying life. Skyclave Apparition by Feather. That's not cool. Fair enough, though. Fair enough. Alright, from here... Alright, I'm going to start by Defiant Striking my Dreadhorde Arcanist and seeing what we get off of it. Okay. Then from here, I'm just going to play 10th District Legionnaire. I'm going to play Pillar Verge Pathway to hold up God's Willing. I'm going to attack with everything. And then I'm going to cast a Defiant Strike on my 10th District Legionnaire. I'm going to scry. Yeah, I think I'll take a 10th District Legionnaire. No, I've got enough threats. I need some spells. Valorous Stance counts. Alright, so let's see what they block. Probably nothing or that. Okay. That gives me a token. Though that does make me worry about a board wipe here. We'll see what they've got. Alright, get out a 3/3 token and pass the turn. Because basically, if they don't have a board wipe here, we pretty much kill them next turn. So, I'm going to set an upkeep stop. Depending on what they do, I might want a God's Willing on my upkeep to scry and get something good on top. But we shall see what they do. So, land... Okay, so I'm assuming no board wipes. Ooh, if they're just passing with all their mana, I'm not going to do that, though. Defiant Strike was basically the best I could have drawn there. So that's really nice. Because then I get to draw a card, hopefully like an Ancestral Anger or something. And then things start to get real hairy for them, because I have double protection up. Before we cast anything else, I'm going to play an untapped Sacred Foundry, just so that I have more mana to work with. With all of this great reaction in my hand, I'd like to not lose out on protecting some of my dudes. Homestead Courage. Yeah, I'm definitely going to put that on top and draw it. And then I'm going to pay 2 life here. I think I'm just going to Homestead Courage my 10th District Legionnaire. And then they basically need to have something here or they're dead. Yeah, they didn't. Also, I still don't know why my sound keeps going off. I keep restarting, but I think we just updated today with the new stuff, so I'm sure that's why. With the Baldur's Gate stuff. Alright, I'm going to bring in 2 Fight as Ones. I have no real idea what I'm playing against. But 2 Fight as Ones over Valorous Stances for more protection. And then I think I'm going to take out a Reckless Rage. I'm going to take out a second one. I'm not sure if they're actually playing many creatures early on, but I'm going to put in 1 Showdown of the Skulls. Alright, here we are in game number 2. This hand... I'm going to keep it on the draw. Our opponent mulliganed. It's actually fine because we just are missing spells and we have so many in the deck that one of them makes this hand go off pretty hard. And we're pretty weak to removal. We're pretty weak to, or pretty strong against removal, pretty strong against board wipes with having 4 threats in our hand. I definitely think this is a good keep, but we are just in need of a couple spells to get this really going. All right, Inspiring Vantage, play Soul-Scar Mage. Clifftop Retreat was not really what I wanted to draw there, because now that we're at 4 lands, we don't need to draw any more. Alright, play 2 land. Alright, Paradise Druid. Unfortunately, I can't kill that, so I'm just going to 10th District Legionnaire. And I will certainly offer the trade here. I've got spells to spare, and I'm fine with them trading their ramp for my dude. So, yeah, I didn't expect them to trade here. Play like a Topiary Stomper or something. That'd be awesome. Oh, nothing there. Okay. Well, that was a nice draw, because now I'm going to go land Homestead Courage on the Legionnaire, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to go land 10th District Legionnaire, and then probably Homestead Courage one of the Legionnaires. And this will be nice because I get this guy much bigger. This guy gets bigger. 10th District, one of our 10ths won't get bigger. Definitely no more lands here. But then I have some big dudes that we can start attacking them with. But let's see what they've got, because they paid life for Temple Garden. I am a little bit worried about a, what's it called? The Settle the Wreckage. So I'm only going to attack with, I think, these 2, because I'm worried about Settle the Wreckage. And I'm fine with still trading a creature for Paradise Druid. Okay, Nightpack Ambusher actually made that a pretty rough play. I was more worried about Settle the Wreckage because they paid... Yeah, that was unfortunate, but that's okay. Pass the turn to you. We have a Reckless Rage, which is going to make Nightpack Ambusher pretty fine. They're going to pass here. Certainly no blocks right now. And then let's see what they end up doing. So this is a Naya Flash deck. That's fine with me if that's what you're playing, you know? Alright, I'm going to go land Feather. And then I'm going to Reckless Rage the Nightpack Ambusher and make my dude bigger. I'm going to make this 10th District Legionnaire bigger. And the reason why is because then it can get double blocked by these and still survive. And I still will send in... Well, maybe not. Oh, okay. That's annoying. I'm not going to put that on top. I'm just going to pass. No attacks. Go to you. I get my Reckless Rages back, so I can at least start killing their dudes. But that is annoying for sure. Oh, I am sore from the gym. Tristani Discordant. Alright, fair enough. That's for sure gonna get killed, though. Interesting. 12, 17 damage coming at me. I think I'm just gonna block here. And do I want to block here? They don't get to kill this 10th District Legionnaire, which is nice. No, I think I'm just gonna block with 1. Because then next turn I can start chumping, or stop chumping. Alright, well, this is where things get a little bit tough, because I'm just gonna go kill Tristani with this. And yeah, I'll draw that. But I don't see myself surviving very likely. Here I'm just going to Reckless Rage this now. And we'll still keep Defiant Strike on top. And then I'm gonna Homestead Courage my Feather, flashing it back. And then I'm gonna pass. And things are gonna be a little bit tough. It's gonna be hard to survive here. But if I can survive, I think things get tough for them. They can't really attack into me with Nightpack Ambushers, because that doesn't actually work out too well for them. But we'll see what they end up doing. So they could have a lot of options here. They're playing an interesting little tokens deck. Nightpack Ambusher plus Tristani Discordant. What an odd combo of cards. I like it though, it's pretty cool. Bunch of life linkers, that's fine. They're really in the tank here. They got 3 cards in hand. We have 2 Reckless Rages. So they basically have 1 turn just to kill me, or I'm just gonna start destroying their whole board. Yeah, Cavalier. That's fine. You can get out of land. I only have 1 Reckless Rage, keep in mind. For now. Alright, that's fine. Are you going to attack me? You should. Yeah. Because then I have to go like this. Ooh. Do I have to actually chump with my feather? It seems like it. They did get there on the turn I needed them to not. They certainly were able to get there, which is unfortunate. Because then I'm going to go hit that, hitting this, keep the Defiant Strike on top. Actually, now at this point, Defiant Strike doesn't quite... Yeah, I'm going to keep it on top. And then I'm going to go block here, and then I go to 1, and things still are tight. I have Reckless Rages again. Here I'm just gonna cast a Reckless Rage. I guess I just have to try to one-shot him, which is going to be very, very difficult. I'm gonna Ancestral Anger here. I need to get a God's Willing. Alright. And then I give this pro green. Yeah, I kill him here. Okay, that's good. Whew! Pro green. 10th District Legionnaire on the bottom. Homestead Courage. And then they die. Alright, that was sweet. And I'm gonna attack them for 15. Good game. Alright, that was awesome. Let's do some Borosing. I am going to ship this hand. It just doesn't do much. This hand's great, though. The question is, it's between Play with Fire and Reckless Rage for me to put back. And I think it's going to have to be Play with Fire. Because if they're running creatures, keeping a Reckless Rage is going to be better in the long run. So let's just go Soul-Scar Mage, pass. And then let's see what they're playing, because that's going to depend a lot on what I do here. This deck is very reactive to what our opponent's trying to do in terms of our game plan. I know most decks are like that, but this deck in particular is like, do I want to get out another creature this turn? Do I want to go all in on some more creatures? Do I want to keep up removal? That sort of thing. So, because this deck can go so many different directions, it looks like our Soul-Scar Mage might be dying. Blooming Marsh, Fatal Push. Ooh, Gilded Goose. Okay. So that definitely makes me want to just go Iganjo, Virtuoso. Well, I'm going to attack for 1, see what they do. They might not block it. Perfect. That's a free damage. Then I'm going to play an Illuminator Virtuoso and pass the turn. Now, next turn, I'm hoping to draw... I'm hoping that they just play a land and then play, like, their sack dude. I can't remember the 3-mana 3/3 dude, what it's called. And then we could, like, Reckless Rage it and kill it and stuff. I don't want them to kill my Illuminator Virtuoso. That would make me very sad. And you don't want to make me sad, opponent. You hear me? You hear me? Alright, play the Mayhem Devils. That's what it's called. That took me a second. Play Mayhem Devil. That also works. That is fine. Perfect. So now I'm going to go... Ancestral Anger on my Illuminator Virtuoso. Ooh, that's a nice draw, though I'm missing the red mana to do it again, which is really sad. So I think I'm going to discard... Ooh, I'm going to discard a Plains here. No, I don't want to discard a Plains here. I guess I discard a Reckless Rage. That's tough, actually. Maybe I just discard the Clever Luminancer. Oh, no red mana there. That's heartbreaking. Alright, well, in this case, I'm still going to attack him for a whole bunch of damage. 8 damage right now. And they'll go to 11. Having only 1 red mana is pretty brutal here. That's why there's so many duels in this deck, because so many cards do a little bit of both. You know, so many cards rather, like, you know, you could have a lot of red in your hand, a lot of white in your hand. That's why having, like, Sacred Foundries and Clifftop Retreats are so nice. Alright, so let's see what our opponent's up to. They're going to have 3 mana if they play a land, 4 if they attack and make a treasure. And I'm not sure what exactly their plan is. Okay, so we're going to take 2. They're going to make a treasure. That is fine by me. And then... What you got for us, opponent? They discarded some lands, so I'm thinking they're pretty heavy on lands. Trail of Crumbs is fine. Not worried about that, unless, of course... Okay, that's annoying. Just don't play a Witch's Oven now. That would make me sad. Ooh, they did have it all. That's not good. Alright, play with fire, eh? I guess I have to Ancestral Anger my Soul-Scar Mage and pray for a red mana. Otherwise, this game is just... This one's pretty much over if I don't have a red mana right now. Alright, that is a red mana. Is it enough? I think I just want to go Dreadhorde Arcanist here. And attack for 4. And that's going to be nice because they can block with their Cauldron Familiar, but it doesn't matter because I've got Trample. Yep, block here. The only thing I'm really worried about seeing is a stinking Witch's Oven. That would make things pretty awkward. Please don't have a Fatal Push for my Dreadhorde Arcanist. Thank you. Make your 1/2. See what else you got. Okay, play a land. 2 cards in hand plus a Cauldron Familiar. I assume they're going to put that out and draw with Trail of Crumbs. And that's fine. Ooh, Corvold? Not great for me. I wish I had a red mana up so I could respond with a Reckless Rage, but unfortunately I can't. But that's okay. I still have... Yep, that's fine. Attack me there. No blocks. I'm worried about something that just... I need to keep my Dreadhorde Arcanist alive really badly. Alright, from here, I'm just gonna go... Reckless Rage your Corvold, targeting Soul-Scar Mage? Yes, I think that's gonna be for the best. And then... I'm going to... Ooh, this is tough. I could Ancestral Anger here and see what I hit. I think that's what I'm going to do next. So first, that's going to take some damage. Yep, and it's all -1/-1 counters because of Soul-Scar Mage. And then from here, I think I just want to attack in with everything. And this is going to play a Ancestral Anger now. And I'm going to target my Dreadhorde Arcanist here and see what they end up doing. All right, nothing so far. Let's see if I draw something good. Sacred Foundry's not great. And then now that I'm going to blockers, I think I want to just... So they would take 6. I'm going to kill the Corvald here. And then that makes it so that the Reflections of Kiki-Jiki can't actually block very well. Yeah, they're going to draw a card here. But unless they have a way to sacrifice something else, they will lose their Corvald. Alright, so that's good. And then see what they end up doing. I probably should have actually Ancestral Angered the Soul-Scar Mage. I was worried about some sort of kill spell like Fatal Push. Oh, go to 2? With a... Ooh, that's a bold one. I'm going to pay 2 life. I'm going to play another Dreadhorde Arcanist. They have to deal with me before I play with fire. Obviously, they could gain some life with the Goose. But I still like my position here. I think they're in a tight one unless they have something else really good. But I can't imagine. I don't know what they could have that'd be super good. Because I get to flash back 2 spells unless they kill my stuff. And they could be like a wreck. Yeah, so they had enough. Okay. Whew. Good grind out on that one. This deck can really grind. From here, I definitely bring in a Braids. I actually think I bring in a Danto Vanguards. Take out Clever Luminancers. Those are really only good in the super fast matchups. Take out 1 Valorous Stance because it's expensive. Take out 2 10th District Legionnaires. Take out a Feather. And then I think I just take out a... Defiant Strike? No, I can't imagine that's right. Maybe we just go with 1 10th District Legionnaire. Alright, game 2. Our opponent mulliganed. I'm probably going to mulligan this as well. Yeah, this hand is much better. On the draw... Interesting. Maybe I just get rid of the Plains. I think everything else is just too good. So I'm just going to get rid of Plains. I've got time to draw land, and I don't need to draw more than, like, 1 more. Alright, so that's fine. I'm just going to play a tapped Sacred Foundry and pass the turn and see what they're up to. So we have the Abrade for the Witch's Oven, which is nice. Hopefully they don't have, like, multiples. But if they don't, we're actually in a pretty decent spot here. Because I'm just going to... Man, do I actually just start with a 10th District Legionnaire here? I think so. If they want to kill this, that's totally fine with me. I'm going to attack for 2 and pass. I'm on my upkeep. We'll see what they do, but on my upkeep, I might Defiant Strike to scry and draw. See if we can hit a land. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so I am going to scry and draw with 10th District Legionnaire. That is fine. Ooh, definitely draw an Aganjo. That's perfect. Let that resolve. Draw the Aganjo. Well, go to my draw step. Play the... Oh my gosh, go to main phase. Play the Aganjo. I think I'm just going to attack for 4 and see what they do. Alright, so they're taking the damage. I'm going to then Abrade their Witch's Oven. And that's going to be really nice. So then they lose that. They go to 14, pass the turn to them. And then I could just, like, Ancestral Anger. I could always Reckless Rage something if I have to. They're likely going to take some good damage here next turn, and we might get an Adanto Vanguard out. They threw away 1 land, so they have some cards that they like. Yep, play that. Ooh, this feels like a Corvald. This feels a little bit Corvaldy. Yeah, that's pretty good. But they don't have much to sacrifice that's good for them. Yeah, you can sacrifice that. Burn spell? No burn spell. Alright, I'm going to start by playing Ancestral Anger. Seeing what we see. Ooh, I'll draw another Ancestral Anger, I think. I'm going to play another Ancestral Anger. See what we draw. Soul-Scar Mage. Not quite. See what we draw off this, though. God's Willing, that's nice. I'm going to play this on the red side. I will attack for 8. They're very much so not incentivized to block because I could have so many things that just kind of kill them. Or just make this a terrible block. So they go to... They're taking 8 here. I think that's fine. And then what else do I do? Maybe I just play my Adanto Vanguard. I'm a little bit worried about what they can do, but I think this is going to be for the best. So go to your turn. You make your creature with Fable. And then from here, they have 4 cards in hand. They have a Corvold. They don't have much mana. Another way to give my dude trampled or something would be huge. Though I guess realistically, I could just give my 10th District Legionnaire Pro Red and kill him. I like this. They would have to play a non-red creature. They have to do a lot of things here to not die. Yeah, attacking with Corvold's fine. I've got plenty of life to spare. They're not going to wipe the board. Their deck doesn't run much of that. So hopefully they don't have something like that. And then, what are they going to sacrifice? Probably their Goblin? Maybe a land, but I assume not. Okay. So they get to draw a card, hit me for 6 down to 12. But what can they do now? I'm not sure. Because from here... Okay, Fatal Push that. That's fine. I don't love it, obviously, but it's fine. And then from here, Mayhem Devil. Okay. Go to my turn. A buff spell would be huge. Alright, a Braid. So this is definitely turning into a kill your stuff kind of hand. So a Braid your Mayhem Devil. And then... Ooh, do I really have to pay 2 life? Or pay 4 life? Because then I would go to 6. They could kill me pretty easily. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. So I'm actually just going to attack for 3 and see what they've got for me. I would like them to block here. Because then I'm just going to play another Adon... Okay, so they're going to take the damage. That's super bold of them. Holy crap, I can't believe they actually took that damage. Alright, in that case, I'm just going to hit him for 3, play another Adanto Vanguard, and pass the turn. We're still not in a great spot, because they have a Corvold that's big and scary. We're at 12. If we want to, like, block with Adanto Vanguards, things start to get a little awkward. Yep, so that's fine. Play a Mayhem Devil. And then make a copy of it. Yup. And then you're going to attack with Corvold and sacrifice. Okay, they didn't have anything else. So I actually think that means I win now. Because here, they're going to sacrifice a land. Get 2 of these triggers. So they're targeting 1 each. So I'm just gonna pay the life for 1 of them. Let's just do this one. And then that one will resolve and kill that. This one will resolve and kill that. I'm gonna go down to 1. And then I should be able to untap and kill them? Oh no, because they had the sacrifice with the reflections. Oh, I didn't think about that. Alright, that was pretty good. Good game, good game. Oh, I wish I could have told my opponent that. Alright, this is going to be just fine, though. I think a Valor Stance is coming for Corvold. It seems like they're running quite a few of them. And then I'm going to take out Adanto Vanguards. Alright, this hand is sketchy, because if they have a way to kill Illuminator Virtuoso, we're in a bit of a tight spot. But if we can untap with it, it's actually not too bad. I don't know, I don't think I want to mulligan this hand on the play here. Hopefully we draw a creature in the next couple turns. Or a land. A little bit of both would be fine. Yep, that's fine. Make a creature. Pass to me. Alright, land is good. I'm just going to pay 2 life and cast my Illuminator Virtuoso. If they kill it, they kill it. I don't think I should be worried about... Like, I just don't think I can do anything else here. Yeah, they had the Fatal Push. That's pretty good. Alright, untap. What else do you have? You have something for 2? Alright, yeah, I didn't think so. Ooh, God's Willing is not quite gonna get there. So unfortunately, this is always a heartbreak to have to do, but sometimes you have to do it. So I'm just gonna Defiant Strike your Gilded Goose. Draw another Defiant Strike. Okay, well, I'm going to pass the turn now and see what we do. See what they do. I would like them to play a Korvold soon. They will have 4 mana this turn, so probably not this turn. But hopefully next turn they play a Korvold and I can kill it with a Valorous Stance. That would be really nice. Unlicensed Hearse. Yeah, that's fine. I don't love it, but it's going to be fine. I'm really looking for feathers now. Alright, a Braid. Here I'm just going to pass the turn. I don't want to abrade their Goose because I wanted them to use it to play a Korvold. Yep, you get to take away my Defiant Strike and Virtuoso. Not much I'm going to do to stop that. I will potentially eventually abrade this Unlicensed Hearse, but for now, I want to just make sure that I can Valorous Stance at the end of the turn here. So, play a land. Cauldron Familiar is not quite what I was hoping to see. Okay. And then, what else do you have for me? Nothing? So that means they probably just have tons of removal. So in that case, I'm just going to Defiant Strike again, unfortunately. I just really need to make sure I can draw into something here. Not quite. Go to my turn. Do I want to abrade the Hearse? No, I don't think so. Alright, drew a land. Pass the turn to you. This is sad. I'm running enough creatures, I'll eventually draw some. Oh, they didn't want to exile anything? That's kind of a mistake. Not a big one, but definitely a bit of a mistake. Korvold here, eh? No Korvolds. I don't think. What else? What do you have? Nothing? I guess here I do a break. No, Unlicensed Search just isn't scary right now. I think I just play it smart. Alright, pass the turn again. This has been a very fun deck. Very fun game with the Boros deck for sure. I'm not giving them much to Unlicensed Hearse either. I don't want this to become like a 6/6 and then actually start becoming a threat. I'd rather make it slow and then eventually abrade it. But I'm worried about a Witch's Oven. See, that's what I was worried about. That's why I'm very glad I kept my abrade. Because now I can at least deal with that. Let's see what our opponent's up to, though. So just... I'm going to destroy this now so that they're forced to attack with their Cauldron Familiar. And then... see what they do. Okay, so sacrifice that. That's fine. Go ahead and hit this. I'm probably going to... hit the Gilded Goose with the Play with Fire, because then they have more way... well, no, because they don't have much ways to sacrifice it, so that's fine. Get this out. Okay. And then, end of turn, I'm just going to Play with Fire them, I think? No, I'm just going to Play with Fire the Goose. I think that's going to be for the best. I know I don't get to scry, but I think this is fine. They're going to make a food, yep. But at least now they don't have a way to get more food, at least in the short term, because then their Cauldron Familiar continue to get more annoying. And then from here, what do we want to do? Ooh, Feather is nice. And hopefully that they try to kill it, and I can God's Willing. They're going to try to kill it end of turn here, and it's going to be a mistake, if that's what they do. Okay, nope. Take those two out of my bin. That's fine. It's annoying that they took my abrade, but not much we can do to stop it. We have more in the deck. Deadly Dispute Your Kitty. Okay. Draw some cards, make a treasure. I don't love it, but there's a tiny chance I untap with a Feather, and then I think we can't lose very easily. But let's see what they've got. Alright, so play a land. They have 4 cards in hand. I want them to play a Korvold really bad. Yeah, that's fine. This doesn't actually matter for Feather that much, because you can't block it. That's the annoying thing. Ooh, that's pretty good. Alright, alright, alright. Still... ooh, okay. That's pretty good. Definitely gonna give it pro black here. And... go pro black. Illuminated Virtuoso on top. And then hopefully no fatal pushes. Oh, I guess it's too late now. Okay. Alright, alright. Get my God's Willing back. That's huge. Play Illuminator Virtuoso now. That holds back the Cauldron Familiar pretty well. From here, I'm just going to attack for 3. I don't want to... I want to keep up Valorous Stance just in case they play a Corvald. And God's Willing. I could have Ancestral Angered here, but I just don't think that's what I want to do right now. So, they're going to go get a Forest. That's fine. They have 3 cards in hand. I'm surprised they're not exiling their own stuff with their Unlicensed Hearse. Though maybe they need it for something else. Maybe they're playing Crocuses or something. I don't know. So this feels like a fatal push to me. And I will give it Pro Black in response. If they kill it, that's fine. Like, not much I could do to stop it. So, give it Pro Black. At least I'm going to get this back. Do I want to draw land here? Actually, I think so. I think a mountain's going to be fine with all these Ancestral Angers and stuff. Alright. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. You can get in there for some damage, but it doesn't really do anything. You can attack me for 3, like, fine. Alright. And then get our God's Willing back. Go to my turn. Play Mountain. I'm just going to Ancestral Anger the Illuminator Virtuoso. And hopefully draw a spell. Ooh, Dreadhorde Arcanist. Goodbye, Dreadhorde Arcanist. Didn't think I'd be saying that anytime soon, but I think that's for the best. Den of the Bugbear. Alright. Ancestral Anger the Illuminator Virtuoso now. Do it again. That's going to come back to me. And then I'm going to discard Inspiring Vantage. I know I don't get a +1/+1 counter, but I like all the cards in my hand so much that it's worth it. Ooh. Alright, I'm just going to attack here. I think that's what I want to do. Yeah, I'm just going to attack here for a whole bunch of damage. I know I could have Homestead Courage that. I just don't think that's the play I want to make. Yeah, even this doesn't do anything if you... Okay, so they're just going to try to use some of their food tokens. That's fine. Go ahead and hit them for 7 more. They go to 8. Pass the turn holding up a bunch of control. Ooh, I like where we're at, because now we have God's Willing and Valorous Stance up to keep our stuff safe. Yeah, that's fine. And we have Ancestral Anger to get our dudes through. So I don't know what they could have to win here. It's going to be hard, for sure. Like, the only... If they had made this, like, way bigger, that could have been something scary, but I had Valorous Stance to kill it. So I don't see how they're gonna win here, actually. They would need, like, 3 removal spells or something like that. And they only have 2 cards in hand, so yeah, that's gonna do it. Okay. What they could do that would be annoying... Alright, Mayhem Devil is fine. That's fine by me. Let's see what else you got, though, dude. What you got? Yeah, you can make a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. You can even make your Unlicensed Hearse big. And I respect it a lot. And it almost did the thing. It would have actually killed me had I not had Valorous Stance to kill your Unlicensed Hearse. And that'll do it. Alright. You can sacrifice it, and I'm sure you will. But that doesn't quite do anything. Yup. You can ping my Illuminator Virtuoso for 1. Yeah, go to face. That makes more sense. Good game. They make this. Alright, we did it. Look at that sick grind. Match against the, wow, against the Jund Sacrifice was insane. This deck has so much more reach than I gave it credit for originally. Like, you can really grind stuff out, especially with feathers. In terms of what I would change, I would probably take out a Clever Luminancer for maybe another feather. That might make me want to go up on another land, so maybe a Valorous Stance goes into the sideboard. I'd have to test it out just to make sure, but overall I really liked it. I actually think putting 1 or 2 Unlicensed Hearses into the sideboard would be nice. I know I say that about every deck, basically, but maybe 1 Showdown of the Scalds comes out and 1 Adanto Vanguard. for some unlicensed turfs just to have a little bit more game against the graveyard decks. Overall, so much fun to play. I hope you really enjoyed watching it. We had some fast games, we had some long games, we had all sorts of things. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll continue to Pioneer Explorer together in the next one. Bye now.